The second hour is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your friendly neighborhood naturopathic physician. We are talking to Miguel, I believe from Puerto Rico, who had a remarkable testimonial about multiple sclerosis, was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. The drugs that the MDs gave him made him worse, gave him an infection. Then he started to figure out how to get on the other side of it himself, stumbled across Youngevity somehow, got on board with Youngevity's medical nutritional protocol, the intention of which was not to treat multiple sclerosis, but to support and promote his central nervous system's ability to optimize its structure and function. And now the majority of his multiple sclerotic symptoms have gone, disappeared, and that beats a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. Miguel, welcome back. I think you had a question about somebody?
Yes, I was calling because my aunt, she has lupus, and she tells my mother that she's scheduled to have next week dialysis 3 times a week.
Yeah.
I know it's not going to help. I know it's not going to work, but I don't know what to,
Well, look, so we need to keep it in perspective, right? Because dialysis is only recommended if the kidneys are failing. Well, that's not always true, but most of the time dialysis is recommended because the kidneys are failing. Dialysis can, under certain circumstances, help to keep people alive, but dialysis never ever gets to the root cause of why the kidneys are funky in the first place, right? Or, why the heart is funky in the first place or whatever. So dialysis is like a stopgap in the same way that prednisone is like a stopgap or pain medications are like a stopgap. It doesn't get to the root cause of the problem, but it can keep people alive. What she needs to do is get on board with a medical nutrition program, the intention of which is to support and promote the structure and function of her body. I did a really good webinar on lupus. It's available for insiders. Go to my website, pick up a subscription, become a Dr. Glidden Insider. It's $20 a month, and then you can go into the archives, find the webinar that I did on lupus, watch it yourself, and then you can, as a member, you can cut, copy, and paste a link of any of the webinars that I've done and email it to anybody in your life, and that's how, one of the ways that the sophisticated Youngevity network marketers are building their downline and supporting the health of people all around the world by emailing them the webinars that I've done. And if people in their group don't have access to the internet or that seems too scary for them, I've done 2 sets of DVDs where I talk about different health conditions on the back of my DVDs. This one, it has on the back of it a clear vision of eye health, how to have healthy kidney function, AFib, sleep, inflammatory bowel disease, stroke recovery and prevention, and relief from fibromyalgia. I have a number of webinars that you can use. Number 1, to educate yourself about what's going on, and number 2, to educate others about what's going on. And this is why, to be a successful Youngevity person, all you have to do is tell the truth and point. I know a doctor that says you don't have to suffer with that. If I send you a link to this webinar, will you watch it? If I bring you to this radio show, will you call in? If I lend you this DVD or this audio CD, will you watch it or listen to it? It's that easy. But I'll tell you right now, the recommendation for lupus, when we're up against lupus, we need to support the immune system. And interestingly enough, to support the immune system, we have to support the intestinal tract. And I talk about the relationship between the intestinal tract and the immune system at length in the webinar that I gave. So the recommendation here, interestingly enough, would be 1 healthy digestion pack and 2 bottles of selenium, 1 healthy digestion pack and 2 bottles of selenium, 1 bottle of Maquis Plus, that's MAQUI Plus, 1 bottle of Maquis Plus per 100 pounds of body weight per month. That's a really good place to start when we're trying to optimize the structure and function of the body when people are dealing with lupus. Now, if the lupus is centered on the skin then you can give extra glucogel and extra essential fatty acids. If the lupus has its center of gravity in the lungs, you can give extra essential fatty acids or whatever. But a good place to start is with the Healthy Digestion Pack, Mackey Plus, and selenium, in addition to, of course, eliminating the 10 bad foods. But, Miguel, you sound like the smartest person in Puerto Rico. So I would encourage you to get an insider subscription and use the information there to leverage your work and your ability to enroll other people. Because honestly, man, Longevity Nation is the last best hope that most people have. I mean, look at what Godfrey did in Europe, right? I mean, Germany. And now his friend isn't legally blind anymore, and he can drive again. And that never would have happened without longevity. It never would have happened without, Godfrey stepping up to the plate and telling somebody in his life about this. And that's what we need you to do, and that's what we need everybody in the world to do. And honestly, I can't think of a better thing to do every day. I have a full board of calls, Miguel. I got to go. I appreciate you very much. Thank you very, very much for your kind words and for your dedication to figuring out your health issues outside of conventional medicine. Oh, Canada is up next. Let's talk to Jim and see what's cracking north of the border. Hey, Jim, thanks for the call. You are live.
Hey, Dr. Glidden, I've got two questions for you.
All right.
I wanted to ask the first one first, but anyway, my sister-in-law is diagnosed with monocytic leukemia.
Oh, yeah. Woo.
And but like she gets about every 3 or 4 weeks she gets 2 or 3 pints of blood, and because she's very weak, then she gets very tired. And I don't know, that's about all they can do for her, I think.
Yeah, that is about all they can do for her, and, that's a tough row to hoe. Historically, there were medical clinics in the world, in the United States, that were treating leukemia with arsenic, actually therapeutic doses of arsenic, and they were having really great success. But then Big Pharma came along with chemotherapy, and once they started rolling out chemotherapy, all other avenues of cancer treatment and cancer research vanished. Now, I'm going to do an entire month-long expose of that this fall. I'm going to do an entire month-long expose on cancer this fall, so stay tuned. But, number one, we don't treat disease here, especially cancer, right? But she's up against it.
Yes.
From our point of view, what we need to do when somebody is struggling with this illness is support healthy bone marrow function. So to do that, in order to support and promote healthy bone marrow function, the recommendation is 1 healthy bone and joint pack and 2 selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per month. 1 healthy bone and joint pack, 2 selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per month, and as much Z radical, Z like zebra, radical as she can afford. And if she can afford a bottle a day, great. If she can afford a bottle a week, great. If she can afford a bottle a month, well, she should try to do better than that. But that's going to be the poke in the eye with a sharp stick. Plus, of course, eliminate the 10 bad foods. I think you had another question?
Yeah, that's for my wife. Now, my wife she had a couple of strokes, and she had a weak ankle. We took the healthy bone for that, but she had hemorrhoids, and sometimes they were bleeding. Now, one of your associates, they said too that we had to take selenium, which she is doing 3 times 3 a day, and it stopped for quite a long time. And would you believe yesterday it started to bleed again? Now, is this normal that it sometimes bleed, or because of the healing, or what is this?
No, it's not because of the healing. It's because the problem hasn't cleared up 100%, right?
I see, okay.
So it's kind of like when we get on board with an appropriate therapeutic, and I don't care if it's acupuncture, I don't care if it's homeopathy, I don't care if it's chiropractic, I don't care if it's medical nutrition or herbs, whatever it is, if it's appropriate and it's effective, and it's used for something that's a chronic, long-standing condition, the resolution from the problem is always like a roller coaster going downhill, right? You get a little bit better and a little bit better, and then you hit a bump, And then you get a little bit better, then you hit a bump, and then you get a little bit better and a little bit better like that. So as long as the bumps, the return of the old symptoms are less intense than they were in the past and they don't last as long, then we're doing all the right stuff. It's just a normal part of the healing process. There are little bumps along the way.
Yeah, because today was nothing. There was no bleeding at all today again, so... Yeah,
I would keep track of it, though, just for your own sanity, right? I would keep a little record on the calendar.
Right.
And what you should be seeing is every month there should be less and less episodes of the bleeding, right?
Yeah, but she hasn't had any bleeding, I think, for at least the last 4 weeks or so. Anyway,
Yeah. So that's good. Now, there's one other thing you might want to just look to see, right? Because sometimes you can screw the program up. The operative thing to support and promote vascular health here, blood vessels, which is what we need to do when we're dealing with hemorrhoids, is copper.
Right.
The copper is in the selenium, and the copper is a mineral like selenium. If you take the copper supplement, if you swallow the selenium supplement that has copper in it, on top of a meal that had phytates in it, then the phytates will bind to the copper and not let them be absorbed into the bloodstream. So you want to do a little Google search for phytates, and let me spell that for you. It's P-H-Y, T like Thomas, A, T like Thomas, E, for foods that contain phytates. Now, foods that contain phytates are not going to hurt you like fried food will, but if you're taking a mineral supplement, you should take it away 2 hours minimum from the consumption of any food that's high in phytates. I mean, so look to see yesterday or whenever this happened, or 24 hours before it happened, if she was eating, a boatload of food that had phytates in it. I mean, you never know. But in any event, that's the long and the short of it, man. I appreciate your work up in Canada. Keep it up, Jim. Your community depends on you more than you know. Stick around, folks. Virginia's up next with Terry. Shout out to Mike Finoni in the chat room. He joins us all the way from Exit 63 in New Jersey. Also, Sunday is in the chat room. Eva is in the chat room. Rita is in the chat room. Thanks for logging in, tuning in, and turning on, everybody. Check it out. Live video streaming of this radio show right now at drglidden.com. Check it out. Tune in and turn on. We are here to make a difference. Let's go right back to the phones now and talk to Terry, I believe, in Virginia. Hey, Terry, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hey, Dr. Glidden.
What's going on, Terry?
How you doing? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, perfect. Loud and clear.
Oh, okay. I've been having some real dark green, black forest green bowel movements for the past 3 mornings. And you recommended a liver cleanse recently. I thought I had something to juice the beets with, but I didn't, so I finally was able to get a juicer last night. And I want to start the liver cleanse, but you wanted me to get some Hepal, which is not available locally. And I've got to order it from Longevity in a little bit, and it's probably going to take about 2 weeks from what my other orders have been taken. But I do have access to another herbal formula with about 15 different types of herbs in it, and I'm wondering if you want me to just juice without the herbal formula or use that until I get to Hepal.
Well, so I'm a little confused. So is the plan to do a fast with juicing? No solid food?
I talked to you a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and you said that I should start doing a beet juice cleanse in my liver.
Yeah.
I had a NutriBullet, but it's not juicing it. It's just making, it's just pulp. And so I finally got me a good juicer and the Granny Smith apples and the carrots and stuff, and I'm ready to juice, but I don't have a Hepal yet.
Yeah, there's no problem. You can start the juicing right away. The only thing that's really mandatory when you do that is the selenium and the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. You have both of those?
No, I just have the selenium.
You don't have any Beyond Tangy?
No, I accidentally forgot to order it last month, and so I've been doing the Healthy Start Pack for, whenever you're on the go.
Oh, then that's no problem. You can do that plus the selenium and start doing the juice. Now, what's the deal with this grass green bowel movement thing? Have you ever had that before?
No, it's black forest green. It's the green that's almost black, and I've had 3 in the past 3 mornings in a row.
Okay, so here's what you want to do. You have any pain or chills or sweat or fever or anything?
No, I did have just a little minor pain in the area in my liver about 2 weeks ago before I called you and you told me to do the cleanse.
All right, so here's what I'd like you to do. There could be a number of things going on here, but we need to rule out the most serious. So you want to go to the pharmacy, CVS or Walgreens or whatever, and get an occult, OCCULT blood test kit, occult blood test. And that checks to see whether or not there's blood in your stool, and bright red blood in your stool is easy to see, and that's 99% of the time due to a cut or a hemorrhoid in the rectal area. It's entirely possible that the dark greenish black stuff that you're seeing is blood. And if it is, it's from higher up in the intestinal tract, and that's a relatively important thing to rule out, especially since you've had it for a couple days in a row here. It's a really inexpensive test. It's a really easy test to do. You can pick them up at most pharmacies. That's the first thing to do. And if it does test positive for blood, then call me back on the radio and I'll tell you what to do, because I don't want you to go to the MDs. But call me up and I'll give you advice about what to do. Now, it's a long shot that it's blood, because blood typically doesn't present in that color, but it's possible. I want to rule it out, though. So that's what I want you to do first. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I ate the beets, and then, of course, I had a bloody-looking stool, and I also had a bloody-looking urine.
How long ago did you eat the beets?
Well, I didn't cleanse with them because I couldn't juice them.
I didn't ask you that. How long ago did you eat them?
It's been like about 2 days ago since I ate the last of the beets.
So you've been eating beets all along here for how many days?
For about 4 days.
Yeah, so that's probably what this is. It's just the beets that are coming out. But I want you to get the occult blood test because you had the pain in the liver a little bit while ago. It's better safe than sorry. It's inexpensive. It's easy to do. It's non-invasive. And I want to know. So check it out and call me back, Terry from Virginia. I will look forward to it. Dolores from New Jersey is up next, folks. Welcome back, everybody. Hour 2, June 4th, 2014. Fire your MD now. Such a sweet sound to that phrase. Let's go to New Jersey and see what Dolores is up to. Hey, Dolores, thanks for the call. You are live.
Hi, how you doing, Dr. Glidden?
Good. What's happening?
I've spoken to you before, but I'm wondering why doesn't this help me? Because I am taking the glucose gel.
Yep.
The 240 and Beyond Ostro FX.
Yep.
Also the EFA Plus.
Yep.
And the Tangerine.
Yep.
For the stenosis of the spine and the arthritis in the hip, in my my left hip. So what's going on is making me very, very stiff that I just had to stop taking it for like a week or say a week and a half and to move because it was stopping me from moving.
Well,
then when I sit down, where the pelvic area is, then it's not paining then, but when I get up, it's hard to get up and move.
Okay.
So it hasn't taken away pain or anything. And then the cream that CMS for pain, that doesn't even help my pain.
Okay, and you stopped all the 10 bad foods?
Yeah, I stopped. Right.
Okay, so what'd you have for breakfast this morning?
This morning I had 2 eggs, boiled eggs.
And that's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And sometimes I don't, eat a breakfast.
Yeah, I know.
Like
Okay,
this.
good. I get it. All right. So, how much do you weigh?
Like 162.
Okay, and how many glucogel capsules a day were you taking?
I think the last time you were saying try to take 15 a day.
Yeah, and did you do that?
And I was taking that and then taking the Beyond Ostro FX, the liquid. So something might be too much for me.
No, it's never too much. Sometimes, and so how long did you do that program? Did you do it for a month, 3 months, a year?
From
how long?
The last part of March. So last part of March, last 2 weeks of March, April, May, and now this is June.
Okay,
so I should feel some difference somewhere.
Yeah, you should feel some difference somewhere, but you don't feel any different anywhere.
No. Now, the only thing that now I had, both of my hands would be like numb, kind of numb. Like now, my right hand feels better. It's not completely gone, but it feels much better. The left one is still like that.
Yeah. So, well, there's only one possibility here, Dolores. There's only one possibility that you just haven't given the program long enough to work. And, the body, one thing that we're used to in this culture is an immediate fix, right? I mean, because let's be honest, you go to the doctor, you've got heartburn, you take a heartburn medicine, and either in 1 hour or 24 hours you feel better, there's no more heartburn, or you take the Tylenol, and 15 minutes later the headache's gone, or whatever. That's what we're used to in conventional pharmaceutical medicine, and that's kind of what we've grown up with inside of that, understanding.
Right.
Medical nutrition is a completely different animal because medical nutrition attempts to fix the problem rather than just sweep the symptoms under the rug, which is what pharmaceutical medicine does, right? Drug medicine. So the basic rule of thumb with medical nutrition is when you start the program, you give it 3 months, 12 weeks, 90 days before you judge it up or down. And in that 90-day period, if you see anything positive improve that's remarkable, then that means that you're doing the right stuff. You just need to ride that horse, continue to do the program until it all rolls around for you. And, it might take 6 months, might take 9 months. I don't know. Might take 2 more weeks.
Moving and doing stuff,
Well, all right. So
I got to the point where I couldn't move hardly.
Well, all right.
Maybe
So
I'm taking too much.
No, you're not taking too much, but there's an interesting thing that can be happening here, and the only way that we can tell this is to look to see how you feel now that you've stopped it, right? Because the Beyond Tangy Tangerine stuff, were you taking the one with that was red or the one that was orange? The one in the blue label or the orange? Okay.
Mm-hmm. The powdered.
Yeah. So it's possible that you were experiencing an allergic reaction, a low-grade allergic reaction to some of the fruits and the vegetables that are in that product. That's the only thing that makes sense to me, because food allergies are a very real thing, and there's a typical food allergy that we think about, like the little boy or the little girl eats a peanut. They're allergic to the peanut, and their skin swells up, and they need an epinephrine shot. Excuse me. That's called an immediate hypersensitivity reaction.
Does it make your bones hurt?
Well, it can. If you are consuming something regularly that you have developed a low-grade allergy to, then yeah, it can make your bones hurt. It can make anything hurt. But one of the things that it does, if you consume something that you're allergic to, is usually within 30 minutes of eating or drinking whatever it is that you're allergic to, you get kind of tired. You get kind of tired. Did you ever have that experience that within an hour of taking the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, you'd feel tired or flagged out or like you needed to sit down or take a nap?
No, nothing like that. The only thing I'd feel is just like both cheeks, just tighten up.
Yeah, okay.
And that bone, because when I sit down, it's like, wow, you hate to stand up because it's on pain.
Yeah, no, I get that. And that's a brand new symptom for you, right? That's a brand new thing?
That's real tight, yes. But the pain in the hip, I've had that. And that's the one I would wish that this would take the pain away.
Well, I understand, but look, the basic, this isn't magic, Dolores. The basic understanding is that if the pain in the hand went away, it's only a matter of time until the pain in the hip goes away, because that's how
the hand wasn't pain. The hand was like numb. The tips of my fingers.
Okay, so the hand improved, right?
Yeah, I can feel improvement there.
Yeah, so therefore we would assume that the rest of the body is going to come around as well, but God only knows how long that's going to take. I mean, I don't know.
Right.
Might take 2 more weeks, might take 2 years, but if the increased sense of stiffness that you experienced was in fact related to a low-grade allergic reaction, when you stop taking the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, which you've done, right? You stopped it.
Yeah.
The stiffness should go away, and it should take about a week for it to go away.
It did go away. That stiffness, tightness in the buttock area, except for the pain in the...
Well, all right, so the pain you've already had, but the stiffness that was a new thing disappeared after you stopped the Beyond Tangy, right?
Yes.
So that means you had an allergic reaction to the Beyond Tangy. That's what caused that.
But let me ask you, these nutrients, what is that going to do with the stenosis of the spine and the hip? Does that build bone or something? What is it doing?
Yeah,
so it's more bone?
No, it's not making more bone. It's helping your body fix the bone that's not right, because the body has mechanisms in place where it chews up old funky bone and it lays down new bone all of the time. This is happening all of the time. And so medical nutrition supports that process. It supports the body's chewing up the old bone and laying down the new bone. It's virtually impossible for your body to make too much bone under a medical nutrition program. I mean, you'd be throwing up. I've never seen it happen in 25 years.
But I heard someone say on this program that they had a knee replacement, and they were on this product, and it grew bone over top of that knee replacement.
Yeah, it didn't grow bone over top of the knee replacement. It grew cartilage on top of the knee replacement. That was a remarkable case, and that happened because the knee wasn't completely gone. The surgeon surgeried the knee sooner than they needed to. And they shouldn't have done the surgery, and that's why the cartilage grew back on top of the fake knee. So this is what's happening to you here, Dolores, regretfully, is called a low-grade delayed hypersensitivity food allergy. Now, what that means is you need to take something different other than the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. You need to take something different than the Beyond Tangy Tangerine because it was that was causing the problem. So what I would do, what you could switch to, would be something called Ultimate Daily Capsules. Ultimate Daily Capsules.
Ultimate
Daily Capsules, yeah.
Daily Capsules.
Take 6 a day.
So should I continue to take all the rest of it, though?
Yeah, I would continue the EFAs, the selenium, the white liquid calcium, and I would just add the Ultimate Daily to it and stop taking the Beyond Tangy.
Okay. So this has, what do you call it, glucose? So that's very good?
You mean the glucogel? I want you to keep taking the glucogel, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to say glucosamine, however you say it.
Glucosamine sulfate, yeah, that's in the glucogel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's,
now, have you ever had the experience, Dolores, that you had shrimp somewhere and you had an allergic reaction to it?
No.
Ever had an allergic reaction to shrimp or lobster or shellfish?
No. So you saying I'm allergic to shellfish?
Well, no, I'm asking if in the past...
when you say that, I had MRI or the CAT scan where they give you the dye?
Yeah.
I did have a reaction a long time ago, so they said it was some type of shellfish that I was allergic to.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
All right, so you need to stop the glucogel, too.
Stop that, too?
Yeah, because the glucogel has shellfish in it.
Oh, I thought it didn't have it.
No, the glucogel has shellfish in it for sure.
Oh.
Now, having said that, Dolores, right, it's entirely possible that it was the glucogel and not the Beyond Tangy that you were reacting to. Did you stop both of them in the last week?
I just stopped the whole thing, the whole
thing. All right, so here's what I'd like you to do, please. All right. I'd like you to get, and I want you to do this for 3 days in a row, or 3 days at a time. So for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I'd like you to go back on the white liquid calcium just for 3 days and see if it makes you feel funky. Okay?
Okay.
If it doesn't, I want you to continue to take it, and then Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, I want you to add the selenium and see if that makes you feel funky.
So the selenium, you're saying the Beyond Tangerine?
No. Were you taking a little capsule that said selenium in it, or were you not doing that?
Something says selenium in it.
Yeah, okay. So I think you have a selenium supplement. You also have an EFA supplement, right?
Yeah, EFA.
All right. So first I want you to do the liquid calcium for 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Then I want you to do the EFAs for 3 days.
Okay.
Then I want you to do the Beyond Tangy Tangerine for 3 days.
Okay.
And see if any of those make you feel funky. If none of them make you feel funky, then the only thing we have to switch out is the glucogel, because if someone told you had an allergy to shellfish, it's guaranteed the glucogel you can't have anymore, and we have to do a workaround for that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so do this little experiment deal for 9 days, and then call me back next week. Tell me what happened,
okay,
and I'll tell you what to do. And I appreciate your patience with this. I really do. I'll get you there. You just trust me, okay? I appreciate it. Stick around, folks. Los Angeles is up next. Thanks for tuning in today, everybody. We're finishing up the show June 4th, 2014. Let's go to Los Angeles and talk to Celeste. Hey, Celeste, thanks for calling. What's up?
Hi, Dr. Glidden. I was having a problem with my left leg. It was like swelling, like fluid. And I prop it up at night, and I can't get it to go down. And this is happening all through the day.
Yeah.
And like the lady that just went off, I can relate to what she was saying, but I know I have food allergies that I'm trying to find out. So should I follow the same protocol she's following?
No, well, it's different because these are two different animals, right? So the most common cause of swelling in the extremities is a lack of protein in the blood. It's not a circulation issue. It's a lack of protein in the blood. And when you don't have enough protein in the blood, water gets sucked out of the blood vessels into the skin instead of the reverse, which is what the body tries to do. The body tries to suck water out of the tissue into the blood to get rid of it and to filter it and process it, right? Because all of the cells in the body all the time are creating waste products, and the waste products goes into the liquid extracellular fluid, and then that extracellular fluid is picked up by the veins and brought into the heart, which pumps it through the kidneys. So if you don't have enough protein in the blood, it goes the other way, and instead of water being sucked into your circulatory system, it gets pushed out of the circulatory system, and that's what causes the legs to swell up. It's not enough protein in the blood, which begs the question, well, what causes that? Well, it's only one of two things. It's either you're not eating enough protein or you're not digesting the protein that you're eating. So you wouldn't be a vegetarian, would you?
No.
Okay, so there has to be a digestion issue. So the recommendation then is to do the following. Get the Longevity Ultimate Enzymes. It's digestive enzymes. Get a couple of bottles of Ultimate Enzymes. And I want you to take 2 or 3 of the Ultimate Enzymes at the beginning of a meal. If it's just a small meal, you can do 2. If it's a big meal, I want you to do 3 of the Ultimate Enzymes before a meal. I want you to salt the food that you eat so that it tastes good. How much liquid calcium are you taking right now?
I'm taking 1 ounce in the morning and 1 at 6 o'clock.
All right, so as an experiment for 7 days, I want you to do 2 ounces in the morning, 2 ounces in the afternoon, and 2 ounces before bed for 7 days, I want you to do 6 ounces a day of the white liquid calcium. And because your stomach needs calcium in order to have strong stomach acid, it's entirely possible that your stomach acid just isn't strong enough to digest protein, and that's why this is happening. You also need salt to have strong stomach acid. So as a little experiment, I want you to overdo it a little bit with salt. You know, every time you eat something that's appropriate to put salt on, I want you to do 6 ounces of calcium a day for 7 days. And get some digestive enzymes and take the digestive enzymes before the meal. And, Celeste, for the next 7 days, every time that you eat something, and I do not care what it is, at least 50% of what you're eating has to be protein. So, you know, meat, fish, chicken, cheese, mixed salted nuts, you know, smoked salmon, rice and beans. Eggs, of course, are the protein that all other proteins are compared to. So you want to go crazy for protein for the next 7 days. Salt your food. Double down on your calcium. Get the digestive enzymes and see if the problem goes away. I'm going to bet you that it will. It's 99 times out of 100, and I just made that statistic up. The only thing that's at play here is there's simply not enough protein in the blood, and that's caused by, you know, bad digestion or not enough protein in the body. So give that a run.
Yeah, that's not the osteoFX, is it?
Yeah, it's a liquid calcium. Wow, don't you like that?
I love it. I have the osteoFX and I have the glucose.
Caltati? What's the other one that you have? You have the OsteoFX and what?
And the glucogel.
All right, so I want you to do 6 ounces of the OsteoFX a day for 7 days, okay?
Okay, got it.
All right, Celeste, let me know what happens. Thanks, everybody, for logging on. God willing, and the creek don't rise. Back in the saddle tomorrow. Till then, live long and prosper. Dr. Glidden over and out.